Hello, guys and girls. So, I'm jumping on for the first Yes and AMA. What's an AMA? An AMA is and stands for Ask Me Anything. And I've been inspired by a few cryptocurrencies, particularly in the, or crypto projects, particularly in the decentralized finance world. So it really moves away from the old paradigm of finance and to a more decentralized paradigm. And I've been involved in a few and invested in a few to support those projects. And something that they do on a weekly basis, or the projects that I've been involved in are doing on a weekly basis, one of the founders or people that are heavily involved with the project will jump on once a week and give a bit of an around the grounds or window in behind the scenes as to what is the project up to, what did it work on in the past week or month, and what is it looking to do in the next week or month. And with these AMAs, you get a window in to parts of the organization that you might not otherwise have any clue about or any idea about or be exposed to at all. And I have been sitting there listening to these AMAs and also putting my vote in through a governance system on particular decisions that they are looking to make, and they're engaging the community on those. And so listening to the AMA combined with this governance structure that they have has really had me feel an integral part of these projects without necessarily needing to be a part of the team or an employee or whatever you want to call it. And there's something really, really powerful in that. And it's not as though we're just picking this up now and thinking it's a good idea. We at Yes and for the last 18 months have been working with a conscious business strategist, Simon Crawford Ash, who has been working with a handful of other organizations as well around decentralizing. And decentralizing has been a big focus for us as we continue to work on improving the offerings that we currently have. And for us at the moment, it's an emerging process. We're constantly in a state of learning. And the reason or what this means for us is for us to be super transparent around finances, around processes within the business and systems within the business, around what's happening behind closed doors, and hence this AMA here. And so with this one being the first one, I thought I'd give you a window into what we focused on for the last 12 months, in addition to looking to become more and more decentralized until we find our sweet spot of being decentralized. And I'll touch on this with each AMA so that we're collectively learning what it means to be a decentralized organization and have decision making and responsibility distributed rather than it coming down to one person or a very few number of people that make all decisions on behalf of everyone else. And so in the last 12 months, the focus for Yes and in 2021 was really to establish the core offerings that we had so that we were able to support people along this inner work journey, moving through in an integrally informed way, where you've got the one-on-one work for the upper left quadrant, so the work for the individual, but that's obviously necessary but insufficient alone. And so we then have a handful of other offerings that bring people into the we space and work on relational things such as the Listen course, which we're looking to rebrand to most likely authentic communication is what we're going, or authentic relating, authentic communication is what we're looking at the moment. And then there's Mastering Being, which is an integrally informed looking at your own personal life through an integral lens. You know, the health of your body, physical body, the health of your mind, the health of your emotional state, and how to be able to navigate and manage all of these. And then we have the retreats, which are an incredibly intimate um, offering over 4 days. And you can only imagine the depth to which you are able to go, spending 4 days with the same people and really being able to dedicate an entire 4 day period to your work, removing yourself from the hustle and bustle of day to day, being able to dedicate yourself to that. And we now have retreats happening 3 times a year so that we come into that space, regardless of how long you've been a part of the community. We come into that space as a checkpoint, come out, and with every retreat, our perspective on life shifts for each person that attends. And then we come out, and those that are involved in the one-on-one coaching continue to receive that support between these bigger state experiences so that they've got the support with the regular work on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. And then we've got the courses. You know, the courses, what's the difference between courses and the one-on-one coaching? You know, often we'll have one-on-one clients that ask, oh, should I do that course? Because we're working quite specifically on things that are coming up for me. And the answer is exactly that, that in the one-on-one sessions, the work we do there is specifically attending to what is alive for you right now. Sure, we might come to it with some sort of a structure, but depending on what comes up and what the person or client is bringing into that session is what we're going to attend to. And so the courses really allow someone to get a grounded foundational knowledge in some of the concepts and the work that we're doing, so that it kind of fills the gap on things that aren't so alive for them, but still heavily influence your day-to-day life in that sense. So that's a little bit about, you know, we had brought in those courses. Well, actually, we also had Mastering Being, which we brought in December. It was supposed to be a little earlier, but it got pushed back to December. Actually, I've already mentioned Mastering Being, so we can move on from there. That's a window into our offerings. The other thing that we were focusing on in 2021 with the current core team of 4 people, myself, Sarah, Lawrence, and Marion, we were looking to, we were moving into the 2nd year of working together, with this team having been born from 2 festivals ago. And we were really focusing on the clear communication in an asynchronous way, meaning not being on a call. And given that we are relatively decentralized from a geographic location point of view, with myself and Sarah living in Byron and Marion in Brisbane and Lawrence over in the UK, in Wales, we needed to get really good at communicating well outside of calls, so that A, we weren't having 101 calls, and B, we couldn't actually have as many calls as we would otherwise need, given that there's a difference in time zones. So they were really the focus points, and it really feels like we've been working together for 5 years now at the very least, given the level of clarity, and we're constantly working at refining that. Coming into 2022, and our focus for this year, with this team of 4, it really feels like the work that is there to be done, that with the impact that we're looking to have when it comes to shifting consciousness for a more generative human presence on this planet, it feels like this team of 4 could well do and be a team of 8 or 10. And so we're really looking to invest in the team. And what we mean by that specifically is, you know, our main goal is to shift that consciousness to reach as many people as possible that would benefit from this work. And so the offerings are there. Now we we're going to continue with those offerings, and the steps we're going to take in regards to who we're going to invest in, it's not so linear or so clear cut. At the moment, and this is a bit of an insight into our history as well. For the first 6 months or so, no one in the team was getting paid, but working more or less a full-time role. And then we got to a point where Lawrence and Sarah were able to receive a full-time salary. And myself and Marion, having health clinics and companies on the side, or in addition to that, we were able to sustain ourselves. So we did prioritize Lawrence and Sarah. And so the next step in regards to where we're going to be reinvesting some of the finances will be for Marion and myself to receive some pay. We asked ourselves the question, okay, what sort of an organization do we want to be? Do we want to be an organization that does breed a culture of constant volunteer work and working for no money? Or do we want to be an organization that actually isn't scared of the word money, and isn't scared of money, and that it's actually a healthy part of a healthy exchange, and one of many exchanges, right? But yet still a necessary part of the exchange at this point in time in the world that we live in. And so myself and Marion, we're going to invest some funds for us to get paid something. Then from there, we're going to be looking to reinvest in the team and the people in the team with an accounts person, an operations person, or someone to help out with the operations, a community liaison person, and then well, maybe not we don't know exactly which one's going to come first. It also depends on who presents themselves to us and who sort of pops up in the sphere and we start interacting with. Then we've got marketing, branding, and sales. And that's a big focus for us, because we feel that the offerings that we have, when people arrive into the offerings and experience the offerings, most of the time, most people have been significantly impacted and influenced by the offering. And so where we struggle is communicating that impact to people who are yet to experience that. And so we're looking to invest in someone who specializes in marketing, branding, and sales, or at least communicating the impact of this work to people more clearly. And by expanding the team and reinvesting in the people in the organization, in the team, that is going to loop back around and allow us to reach more people with the offering, and therefore continue down the path of shifting consciousness for a more generative human presence on this planet. So it's a beautiful loop there that will continue to cycle through even as we go beyond that, say, next year and beyond. So that's a window into what we're focusing on for this year from behind the scenes. And then I guess what's more alive right now is the festival. We've got a retreat that's coming up. We've got the festival that's coming up in April, and we've got a beautiful team of volunteers there. Then we've got a 21-day, we're hosting a breathwork master from the US, Dan Boulay. So he'll be coming in for a 21-day retreat, which again really allows us to take our retreat experience to another level. Hosting a 21-day retreat is no small feat. And then we've got our second festival, our second retreat, which is the winter retreat. And then we follow on with mastering self and mastering being. So all of those potentially subject to change. It is all an emerging process, and I will continue to update you guys, the community, that are just as much a part of this organization as the team and each and every team member. And so we really value our interactions with you. We really value the opportunity to be able to work with you. And AMA tends to stand for Ask Me Anything. Whilst for this first AMA, this is simply a recording. However, if you have any questions, please shoot them through either via email or in the Telegram channel. And in future, I'm going to work out how to be able to potentially let you guys know that this is happening, and there can be live questions coming in, asking me anything about the content that I am delivering here in this session. And I will answer them to the best of my capacities. And yeah, we're really looking forward to the next 12 months ahead together. Thank you for being a part of the community. And as always, together in deep work, deep practice, and deep play. See you soon. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are tuning in from.